The best speed reading strategies. The heart of the speed reading process is learning the techniques that will enable you to read faster without sacrificing comprehension. Speed reading is not just about moving your eyes faster across the page. It involves a series of strategies that retrain your brain and eyes to process information more efficiently. In this chapter, we'll explore a range of proven techniques, from eliminating bad habits to mastering advanced methods. How to stop subvocalization. Before we learn to stop subvocalization, let us look at why does subvocalization slow our reading down. Subvocalization is the habit of silently pronouncing each word as you read. It is one of the main barriers to speed reading. Most people subvocalize because that's the way they were taught to read in school, but as adults, this habit slows them down considerably. If you want to read faster, then you will need to train our brain to process words visually rather than relying on our inner voice. Ben was a college student preparing for his final exams. No matter how hard he tried, he couldn't keep up with the volume of reading required for his course. He had the habit of subvocalizing every word as read. This meant he was reading at about 250 words per minute, which is average reading speed. Subvocalization was holding him back. So, Ben worked on breaking this habit. How did Ben break the habit of subvocalization? One technique that helped Ben was reading groups of words at a time, focusing on taking in whole phrases instead of individual words. He also started using a visual pacer, his finger or a pen, to guide his eyes across the page. This technique helped him maintain a steady pace and avoid mentally speaking each word. Within a few weeks, Ben's reading speed increased to 500 words per minute. He was able to finish his required reading in half the time. The technique is very powerful yet also simple, and using it anyone can increase their reading speed easily. How to reduce regression. Let's look at how you can improve your reading speed. To do that we need to answer the question: how can you reduce regression? As mentioned previously, regression or rereading text is another common barrier to reading faster. When we were children, we were taught to regress so that we could understand what we read. Even as adults, many people still have the childhood habit of backtracking when they feel they haven't fully understood a sentence or paragraph. This habit is often unnecessary. It disrupts the flow of reading. Speed reading teaches you to trust your comprehension and resist the urge to constantly go back and reread. Susan worked as a legal assistant and often found herself rereading dense legal documents. She believed that going back and rereading would help her grasp every detail. This habit slowed her down, and she often missed deadlines. After attending a speed reading workshop, Susan learned techniques to reduce regression. One of the most effective strategies was to use a visual guide, such as her finger, to keep her eyes moving forward through the text. She also began practicing pre-reading, where she would quickly scan a document to get a sense of the overall structure before diving into the details. This gave her more confidence to keep reading forward. Susan's reading speed increased by 50% over time. She found that she was able to comprehend just as much, if not more, than when she was rereading. How to expand your visual span. Another way to increase your reading speed is to expand your visual span. What is visual span and how can you extend your visual span? Your visual span is the number of words you can see and process in a single glance. Most people read everything word by word. This makes their reading extremely inefficient. Speed readers train themselves to see and comprehend multiple words at once, which increases their reading speed greatly. The human brain is amazing. It can easily recognize patterns and chunks of information more quickly than individual words. By expanding your visual span, you're training your eyes and brain to work together more efficiently. This allows you to take in more information with each glance, reducing the number of stops your eyes need to make as they move across the page. What is chunking? Another strategy for learning to speed read is known as chunking. What is chunking and why is chunking important in speed reading? This involves grouping words together in chunks. So instead reading word for word texts of information, you focus on the chunks of information or words so you can move ahead faster. To expand her visual span, Clara used a technique called chunking, where she grouped words together instead of reading one word at a time. She started with 2-word chunks, then progressed to 3 or 4 words. After just a few weeks of practice, Clara noticed a dramatic improvement in her reading speed and comprehension. She was now reading 3 times faster and was able to finish an entire novel in just one weekend. This is something that used to take her a month or more to complete. Why a visual pacer is so important. One of the most effective and simple techniques for improving reading speed is to use a visual pacer. What is a visual pacer? It is any device that you can use to trace your reading. Pacer can be your finger, a pen, or even a ruler, to guide your eyes across the text. This keeps your eyes focused on moving forward and prevents unnecessary stops or regressions. It may seem old-fashioned, but many of the world's fastest readers still use this method to maintain their speed and accuracy. Adam was struggling to finish his reading assignments on time. His reading speed was slow, and he found himself losing focus after just a few paragraphs. After learning about speed reading, Adam began using a visual pacer to guide his eyes. It felt unnatural, but after a week of practice, he found that the pacer helped him stay focused and move more quickly through the text. Adam's reading speed increased from 220 words per minute, almost doubling to 400 words per minute. He was then able to finish his reading assignments faster and with better comprehension. Using a pacer is a simple yet powerful technique. By physically guiding your eyes, you're training your brain to move faster while maintaining comprehension. This technique is easy and natural to use when reading. We all did this when we were taught to read by our parents or teachers to read. We initially looked and focused on every single letter and progressed to words following then across the page. Why is pre-reading and scanning necessary? 2 important reading strategies for improving your reading speed are known as pre-reading and scanning. Why do I need to pre-read information? Won't it waste my time and slow me down? Pre-reading and scanning are essential strategies for processing large amounts of information quickly. Pre-reading involves skimming the text before diving in fully, allowing you to get a sense of the structure, key points, and overall message. When you know the structure of information, it is easier for your brain to organize and store information so that you can understand where it fits and how to retrieve it when needed. Scanning is useful for finding specific information within a document or book, without having to read the entire text. When you know what you are looking for, your brain is very efficient in finding it. Sarah often had to write articles based on long research papers and government reports. With tight deadlines, she didn't have time to read every document from start to finish. After learning about pre-reading and scanning techniques, Sarah would quickly scan the introduction, headings, and conclusion of each document before reading it in detail. This helped her identify the most important sections, which she could then focus on. As a result, Sarah saved hours each week and still produced high-quality, well-researched articles. Pre-reading gives you an overview of the material, allowing you to approach the text with a clearer understanding of what to focus on. Scanning is useful because it helps you zero in on specific information quickly without wasting time on irrelevant sections. It separates what is useful from what is useless. It determines your point of focus for what you are reading. To scan effectively, you must have specific reading goals for each reading session. Your mind is like a missile which must have a specific target to function. How to set clear reading goals. You must have a purpose to your reading. Why is having reading goals important for reading faster? This gives importance to the material you are reading. Purpose gives you meaning and focus. Goal setting is a powerful technique for improving your reading speed and focus. When you have a clear objective in mind, you're more likely to stay engaged and motivated. The best way to set a goal is to ask specific questions. Before you start reading, ask yourself these questions. Why am I going to read this material? What do I want to get out of this text? Am I looking for specific information, or do I need a general understanding of the topic? Before you start your reading session, create your own questions. For any student or professional, it is vital to be on top of developments in their subject or field of endeavor. This keeps you competitive. Mike wanted to stay updated on the latest technological trends. He subscribed to several tech blogs and read industry reports. However, he often found himself distracted and overwhelmed by the volume of information. To stay focused, Mike began setting specific reading goals. For each article or report, he identified what he wanted to learn, why he wanted to learn it, and how much time he would spend reading it. This approach helped him focus, stay on track, and process information more efficiently. Mike's reading speed and productivity improved with time and practice. This improvement made him more informed, engaged, and effective professional. Speed reading skills made Mike more confident that he has all the information he needs to be competitive or even ahead of the competition within the organization and external organization looking to get ahead in the marketplace. Speed reading is a vital skill that everyone should master in the rapidly changing and evolving world. Why you should use speed reading software and apps. In the modern age, digital technologies have taken center stage in our lives. To keep up the phenomenal pace of, you must embrace and use whatever digital technology available. So, what are the most popular software packages to enhance your reading speed? As mentioned previously, speed reading can be learned and developed using specific set of techniques. It takes time and application. However, in today's digital age, it's become easier than ever to train yourself to speed read. There are many tools and apps designed to help you practice and improve your speed reading. These tools provide exercises that train your eyes to move faster, improve your visual span, and reduce bad habits like regression and subvocalization. Popular apps include Spreeder, Accelerate, and 7 Speed Reading. Software and apps are readily available, and all you need to do is to use them consistently to improve your reading speed. Many people struggle with information overload. For example, Emily was struggling to keep up with the heavy reading load required for her course. Too much to read and not enough time. A friend recommended a speed reading app. Emily decided to give it a try. The app provided timed exercises and drills that helped Emily increase her reading speed while maintaining comprehension. By practicing for just 15 minutes a day, she was able to improve her speed by 40% within a month, which made a huge difference in her ability to stay on top of her coursework. It instilled a new sense of confidence and ease for Emily. Speed reading software can be a great way to track your progress and stay motivated as you work toward your reading goals. All good software has approach and incremental reward built in, which makes you feel good as you transverse up the ladder. This dopamine hit makes you feel good. It becomes a habit to use the software regularly. This gamification of learning speed reading can be used to your advantage. Mastering the techniques of speed reading takes time and practice, but the rewards are well worth the effort. By breaking bad habits like subvocalization and regression, expanding your visual span, using pacers, and setting clear reading goals, you can significantly increase your reading speed and comprehension. Focus on using and mastering one technique at a time and then move on to the next technique. When all the techniques have been mastered, then your speed reading ability will compound and produce astonishing results. Look out for our next lesson in the series. Please share, like and subscribe, and watch out for our other inspirational videos brought to you by Wordcademy.